Hi, my dear friends. Today, I had prepared few questions in the pharmacology, especially on the topic of bioavailability of drugs. Let's see how far you are just able to answer these questions. So, I think this is a picture I took in relevant to the bioavailability. There is a one clear-cut image with the red color mark which shows the intravenous route of administration, whereas the blue color which indicates the peroral, that is oral route of administration. Let me start the quiz. Hope you all will give a right answer for the quiz. The first one, the drug which undergo the extensive first pass metabolism. So there are four options: paracetamol, ibuprofen, lignocaine, and morphine. The question is, which drug which undergo the extensive first pass metabolism? The answer is lignocaine. So actually speaking, the paracetamol, ibuprofen, morphine, so this role, it won't enter into the extensive first pass metabolism. So exclusively the lignocaine is the drug out of this four choice which will enter into the extensive first pass metabolism. The next question, in ventricular arrhythmia, lignocaine is administered in which route? There are four options were given: oral route, intravenous route, topical route, and all the above. So there is a question itself, it is very clear. So there is a condition called ventricular arrhythmia. On that particular condition, what is the preferred route of the lignocaine? The answer is B, intravenous route. Because if it is given in the oral route, it will enter into the extensive first pass metabolism. So the lignocaine, the drug which has the extensive first pass metabolism. So in emergency condition like ventricular arrhythmia, the route of administration should be intravenous for the increasing in the bioavailability of the lignocaine. Thereby, the immediate pharmacological response can be expected. The answer is intravenous route of administration is preferred in case of ventricular arrhythmia for the lignocaine. Then the next question, in hepatic diseases, the bioavailability of the drug, whether the bioavailability of drug is decreased or increased or both or none of the above. So they had asked regarding in hepatic diseases. So in case of hepatic diseases, the liver function is decreased. So automatically the metabolism is going to be decreased. So the answer is increased. When the metabolism is decreased, the bioavailability will increase. The drug which enters into the enterohepatic circulation. So which drug which will enter into the enterohepatic circulation? The four options are lignocaine, isoprenaline, paracetamol, doxycycline. Any guesses? The right answer is D, doxycycline. So doxycycline which will enter into the enterohepatic circulation. Then the next question. In intravenous route of administration, the percentage of drug bioavailability, whether it is 100% or 50% or 20% or 70%. So the answer is 100%, because whenever the drug is given in the intravenous route, the drug directly enters into the systemic circulation, so automatically it's going to produce 100% of bioavailability as a theoretical concept. So practically it may change, maybe 95, 98, 99. So but theoretically speaking, the IV route of drugs administration, sure it is going to reach the 100% of bioavailability. Then the next question, two formulations of the same drug, if it is produces the equal bioavailability, then what it is? What are the options? That is either it is called distribution, or it is called bioequivalent, or bioinequivalent, or metabolism. The question is, two formulations of the same drug, it produces the equal bioavailability, then it is known as bioequivalent. If the formulations of the same drug which differs in the bioavailability, then that is known as bioinequivalent. But this is an bioequivalent. If it is producing equal bioavailability, then it is known as bioequivalent. Then the next question, the fraction of a drug that reaches the systemic circulation from a given dose, it is known as whether metabolism or bioavailability, excretion, distribution. So the fraction of drug that reaches the systemic circulation at a given dose, and that is known as bioavailability. So this is the definition for the bioavailability. Then the next question, the enterohepatic circulation is an especially important concept in the field of pharmacology, posology, toxicology, microbiology. This is very interesting. So enterohepatic circulation is very important in the field of toxicology. What may be the reason? In the sense, the enterohepatic circulation of a drug which increases the bioavailability. So when the drug increases the bioavailability, there is a possibility of to produce the certain toxic effects. So there is a need to rectify the dose of that particular drug. So the enterohepatic circulation, it directly relates to the toxicology. So it is important in the field of toxicology. The next one is enterohepatic circulation of the drug which resulted in what I had told you in the last question. Once again, they have been asked in the twisted one. So enterohepatic circulation of the drugs resulted in increasing in the bioavailability, decreasing in the bioavailability, both or none of the above. The answer is increasing in the bioavailability, because the enterohepatic circulation increases the drug absorption, because the drug, after reaching to the liver, once again it reaches to the intestine for further absorption. So automatically, which increases the bioavailability. So changing of route of administration is required when a drug has minimal first pass metabolism, extensive first pass metabolism, very minimal first pass metabolism, or all the above. So the answer is extensive first pass metabolism. Why? Because if it is the first pass metabolism is very minimal or minimal, there is no need to change the route of administration. You can slightly increasing the dose. It's more than sufficient. But when the first pass metabolism is very severe for certain drugs, classical example is lignocaine. So we have to change the route of administration. From the oral, we have to change into intravenous. Then only it can produce the effective therapeutical action. And that's it. Thank you all.